Actually, you know what? You know what it is? You know what it is? Alliance is probably in the Twitch chat doing that, enforcing that. That's their favorite thing to do,
It's
isn't
the
it? They're the
Bulldog
Twitch
subs.
team.
It's the Bulldog subs.
Now we
It's the
know.
Bulldog subs.
Now we know.
Right. Yeah, that makes much more sense, actually. That makes much more sense. Okay, so predictions done. We're now into the draft. I can see there's a couple of bans already, so hopefully we'll bring that up on your screen right now. Are you expecting Liquid to immediately go outside of the box? First game of the day, first game of the group?
Probably against a weaker opponent.
I think they could. Yeah,
Would they?
I do think so.
It depends on how much they respect Alliance. In this case, I don't think Liquid fears Alliance that much. They've played against them so many times. They're very familiar with them. I wouldn't be surprised to see Liquid go a little bit outside the box here. And I think something that is a little bit strange out of Liquid right now is that first ban, they banned the Leshrac.
Yeah.
Alliance has been playing that hero. S4,
Trying to bring it back.
S4 has been trying to make that hero work for like 2 months now. But I feel like even if Alliance picks it, is there any reason that Liquid should be afraid of it? The way that Liquid plays works really well against Leshrac.
The Batrider is not that unexpected.
Yeah, the bad I realized. I think the Lesh may have just been a throwaway ban.
Yeah, but from the past we see Liquid, every time they play against a different opponent, they would just ban specifically against the opponent, even if they feel like, oh, maybe we could deal with this, but they choose not to actually deal with something that you are familiar with, regardless, whether it works or not.
Yeah, you're right. I think we noticed that in Russia was that one of the few teams that do ban specifically for a team, whereas everyone else is banning for the meta.
Right. I think the other team would do that would be Complexity. Like those are the teams that I remember on top of my head that always bans differently. So that's a very standard opening.
Very
Phoenix,
standard Alliance
Phoenix
opening.
DK.
I was thinking maybe they might do some like Phoenix Tidehunter or something that we've been seeing some of these like heavy team fights versus the Wisp, but Dragon Knight seems much more appropriate for the Alliance team.
I think this opening out of Liquid is super smart. They take the IO, something that Alliance values heavily, so it's both a block pick and something they might want for themselves, and you know Alliance is not going to pick Earth Spirit. So you have Earth Spirit again for Liquid to pick up.
Yeah. Do they will probably grab it here, and
But don't you think Osprey and Aya does the same job in the laning phase? They roam around, they try to help the lanes, and they are more of like an overlap role.
In a way, but do you think like anything does what IO does?
Yeah, probably not.
okay, that's.
But
That's a really
they
strong
do
pick.
like the roaming role.
Yeah,
right?
no, I agree.
Yeah, it's like the system they're setting up. You have one roaming hero, and you have one babysitting hero. So that's what I see them doing in the past
Single most
few months.
successful hero that has played more than 8 games in the last 3 months is Death Prophet for Liquid, by the way. 88.9% win rate.
And it's got a 100% win rate here so far out of 4 games.
Wow, that's great for that purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
After the hero got
like, maybe Death Prophet.
and the hero got nerfed too. Small nerfs.
Do
well,
you think it's a nerf?
well, the Spirit Siphon definitely got nerfed. It doesn't go through BKB.
Isn't it
but...
better early game now?
Yeah, that's true. I guess
It's
so.
better early game, but weaker later.
Weaker later, but better early. Yeah, that's a good point.
And
I think it's fair. I mean, either way, that spell needed a nerf.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lifestealer ban. No surprise there. That hero also has, I think it's like a 75% win rate across 8 games in this tournament as well, so pretty absurd.
yeah, we'll see whether Liquid chooses anything to actually deal with the Sunray. I think from a few games yesterday we saw Spike Carapace, and we saw Earth Spirit focusing on saving the silence just for the Phoenix.
I would be so surprised if Alliance does not ban the Earth Spirit here, but
they don't. And Earth Spirit plus Death Prophet is one of the most potent combinations to get in the mid lane now.
Yeah.
Earth Spirit, DP, or Earth Spirit plus Queen of Pain. Those are the 2 most dangerous heroes.
And both very good against Dragon Knight here.
And they leave both of them in the pool, so...
Alliance is going to take the Earth Spirit. No, they're not.
They're
They're
not.
definitely not.
They are not good.
There's no way.
EGM has been practicing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then you have Phoenix Earth Spirit, and then you don't really have their true support, and that's really
OG.
awkward.
That's OG's
That's
favorite.
OG's favorite, though.
Yeah,
that is true.
Phoenix Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
They won so many games with that.
Well, maybe Alliance will surprise us. They haven't played any real big games leading up to this tournament, so it's a lot we don't know about them actually.
Yeah, they can be a little bit more difficult to figure out, I guess.
So what do you think the Wisp partner is going to be for Liquid? Probably the Bristleback that we've been seeing, right? Because I know they heavily favor it. They've picked it recently, and it's just it's quite good versus Phoenix. So you can kind of just run at him. I mean, sure, Sunray of course is really good versus him too, but if you just run at the Phoenix in the laning phase, it can really punish him because he's not really the strongest at laning phase at all.
Yep, that's the go-to. Like, or even you can pair it just with a safe laner like a Sven or anything like that. Heroes that are good at killing the egg at the moment, attack speed heroes. Klings, but Klings doesn't pair well with Io. You mentioned Bristleback. That's more high chance of off lane if they actually pick it.
No surprise by Alliance. Yeah, this is just
Absolutely.
Very comfort pick.
very
for
comfort picks.
Their most picked hero in the last 3 months.
Yep, and this is, you know, as we always see, Alliance likes their push. So they have the no field, they have the Dragonite, they have some heal from Sunray. Just pretty much the standard from Alliance coming out.
I think they want to leave this very open-ended. See what Liquid is gonna pick here.
Okay, yep. No surprise there again. They pick up the Earth Spirit.
Good luck, Dragonite.
Yeah. That hero also has a pretty damn good win rate here so far too. I think it's like 60 something percent, 68%.
And 70% win rate for the Liquid in the last 3 months. 100% if they ban it, by the way.
Right.
Which I also thought was quite fun.
Yeah.
I mean, every time somebody gives Liquid Jerax Earth Spirit, Blitz always goes up to me and he laughs and he's like,
You didn't ban Earth Spirit.
LOL, they gave
Liquid
us
picked
Earth Spirit,
Spirit.
Reserve time.
Oh.
I mean, Void would be good for either team.
Yeah.
For Alliance, you have the Phoenix plus Void, and you have Void against the Relocate. And for Liquid, obviously Void plus Death Prophet.
Yeah, Alliance have played quite a bit of Void as well.
Yeah. Alliance. Okay, so they banned out Alliance's Juggernaut, so they don't really have a crazy amount of options now for Loda. But I think Sven is okay here
Against DP,
against the DP because for the
armor.
armor. Other options he has are what he likes his Slardar, but
Slardar, CK,
Slardar,
Ish.
CK.
They don't have the
versus all
greatest.
that.
Well, I mean, they don't have the greatest ways of dealing with all his illusions right now.
That's true. Tether can be annoying because it can't like that. If you level Tether, it's 2.5 seconds where the illusions can't attack. Our Spirit has lots of AoE
Right.
damage with the Death Prophet.
Yeah, and Liquid still has like 2 picks.
Two
you know?
picks left
like
as well.
CK I would regard as a hero, something like
So they do.
like
Okay.
Brood or Husker.
Right.
You have to make it a last pick if
Right,
you
right,
can.
right.
Like it's a hero that you pick and the enemy can't deal with it.
Yeah, and this gives them like a form of initiation because usually Bulldog doesn't really play those initiator type heroes.
Yeah, they have 2 methods now. With I expect S4 to get an early Blink Dagger, both him and Loda on the Slardar.
10 seconds remaining.
You don't think he'll go for the armor first, just straight into the
5
dagger?
seconds remaining.
The Dragonite
Yeah,
or
for the Dragonite.
I think it depends on how his lane's gonna go. I think
Reserve
this is
time.
gonna be a really rough lane for him.
Yeah, it will.
This
It
is gonna
will.
be a really rough lane for. So do you think the early armlet is gonna do much for him? I think he's gonna wanna. I think it also depends on how well Loda does and what his team needs.
And
here.
Loda's gonna be up against, if he's the Slardar, he's gonna be up against Darkseer lane and Earth Spirit potentially.
I love how Liquid does this though. They leave like their lanes are they're kind of obvious, but they have multiple ways to rotate. The Wisp can move, the Earth Spirit can move to either lane at this point, and it can be extremely devastating for Alliance.
And they'll put Matumba Man on a self-sustaining hero.
Yeah,
in most of cases.
It's what there's the Lone Druid, which works well with the push, but not the best versus the Slardar and the Phoenix.
Or the Weaver against Phoenix, you have the Gemini attack for the egg.
Yeah, but
You are picking Weaver into a
Slardar.
lot of
Slardar,
stuns.
DK,
DK,
Rubik.
Rubik.
And you're giving Rubik a spell, yeah, that's not a good idea.
You can steal Sakuchi.
another early fighting hero that they pick is Gyrocopter from Matu. They don't pick it extremely often because he's usually playing the Lycan and the Lone Druid, but we do see Lycan was banned in the first 2.
Or do you think they can get away with Sven for themselves? It's armor against Slardar as well, and armor for DP.
It's not the most self-sustaining hero.
It's more greedy.
It's a little bit more greedy, but I think it looks pretty decent, yeah.
If they win the lanes, you could get away with it with the Earth Spirit plus Io.
It really depends on what Bulldog's hero is. If you're gonna pick the Sven,
Mhm.
he's gonna have maybe 1v1, 2v1 matchup.
Alliance
against
is gonna have
whatever.
the last pick, so they have to pick here.
Yeah. So it's a risk for them to pick Sven.
That's why certain teams would prefer to be second pick, so you get the last pick.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yeah.
You saw that a lot during the qualifiers. Most teams in the qualifiers were taking second pick over first pick.
Yeah. So they ban the Weaver.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Yeah, they know that Alliance is gonna most likely put Slardar onto Loda.
Yeah.
And Bulldog is gonna play a carry hero, like a hero that can deal damage.
He can scale, yeah.
Yeah, scaling hero, Prophet, Weaver, those are the 2 that he always plays.
10
So
seconds
Gyro,
remaining.
Or the Lone Druid.
Gyro, Spectre, Lone Druid probably for Liquid here, unless they go for something very more outside the box.
I mean, if you want to use the Iron Shell, there's still Ember.
Ember as
But
well.
Ember is not so good versus Slardar.
Hmm.
You know what we've been seeing a lot out of different teams is safe lane, Timbersaw.
Oh, Timber against Slardar. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good-
Timber would be
Timber
pretty
would be
sweet.
good.
We haven't seen that out of Matumba Man yet, but the question is, have they been developing that? I know a lot of teams have been in private. So
It makes their physical damage a little lacking. They're pretty much relying completely on the Death Prophet ultimate if they do that. So
they are,
I don't know
but
how I feel
you're
about
also
it.
but it's Timbersaw against Slardar and Dragonite. Okay,
So they do go for the
Double
Spectre.
Spectre.
Yeah. I kind of like that because then they can hit their level 6 right on the Spectre, and they can make the rotations with the Death Prophet and the Earth Spirit to the short lane
It
and just
is
bring it.
also
Yeah.
definitely not one of those self-sustaining heroes in lane, but you know they're just gonna go with it.
I think the IO just has to adjust his play. You have to focus more on helping the Spectre and just let Earth Spirit roam alone.
Let Jerax do his
Yeah,
thing.
just let him do his thing. Either he's gonna help the Darkseer, or he's just gonna focus on helping the Spectre get a good early laning phase.
Reserve time.
Yet again, comes back to like what you mentioned, Yanis. It depends on what Bulldog's hero is.
Yeah.
Anti-mage.
Or they do Bulldog
Or-
Slardar and they pick an anti-mage.
Okay.
So
All right,
that's
so very quickly as we go down the road, Charlie, best draft?
Oh man,
That's tough, isn't it?
that's really tough. So Matumba Man's is gonna get a little sacked here, but I think I do like Liquid, just because of Death Prophet and just because of that Earth Spirit.
Okay,
I like Liquid more because anti-mage is way too slow. Tempo-wise, I would favor Liquid.
Yep,
Okay,
I
Rob?
completely agree with Winter. Liquid, just because of AM takes too long.
okay, 2 for Liquid. 1 for Alliance, let's find out.
Wait,
who
what are you
wins
talking about?
The opening game. What do you mean?
We
I
all
thought
picked,
you went for Alliance.
no, we all picked Liquid.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought you went for Alliance. I'll let him off this time. Trying to catch Charlie out. There's no
Hey,
catching him out.
Watch the VODs, man.
We'll watch the VODs
Watch the
afterwards.
VODs.
Thank you very much to Charlie, Winter, and to Fog. Let's head over to our commentary team with Odie Pixel and Melini.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed, myself and Ben ready to take you through this first series of the day. Alliance versus Liquid. Without any further ado, though, let's get ourselves ready for the action.
Prepare for battle.
And there we have it, Ben. So, Ben, the drafts that we've seen so far, both sides coming out with some great stuff. Liquid, it feels like an incredibly liquidy draft. I mean, these guys, they've got to be happy with the heroes that they got. They talked about in the panel, letting them have the Earth Spirit. Is this a wise play from Alliance, or is this borderline stupidity?
He's been nerfed enough. He got away with third pick. I mean, Alliance had 4 bans that they could have dealt with them if they wanted to. So I think
They've got a plan.
it's also slightly weak, I would say, with the Wisps. I agree with Winter. They kind of do the same thing in the early game, and none of them are like particularly good at zoning out an offlaner. I like how they swapped the Slardar from the potential Loda hero into the Bulldog hero. It's not a good matchup versus Darkseer, and the anti-mage matches up very well versus the DS as well as the Spectre into the late game. And he also has a natural escape for the relocate. But is he going to take too long?
I mean, looking at Alliance's draft and the way that they did draft, do you think that was not the plan initially? That you think it was intended to be a safe lane Slardar, and that was purely reacting to the Spectre pick, putting Loda on the anti-mage?
I think it was more so that Liquid left their 2 cores for last.
Yeah.
So they wanted a flexible pick that could have been in the safe lane or the off lane. And then
The
not
battle
that many teams pick their
begins.
2 supports that early. So it was more, okay, well, we don't really know what they're doing yet, so we'll pick something flexible instead of, if they picked AM for it, that would have been a mistake.
Alright, and as we can see in terms of the lanes from both sides, it looks like both teams will be keeping it relatively simple with Liquid running this tri-lane here up towards their own safe lane and Alliance themselves, keeping it there. They'll already managed to get the sentry ward down to try and block the side camp. But already, what we're going to see from Liquid, mind control, actually avoiding the offlane for the time, and he is just going to start off in the jungle on this Darkseer. So not wanting to have a run-in at all with the tri-lane of Alliance, which I guess you've got to respect, with the catch potential of a Rubik. It could be a little bit scary for a Darkseer, especially before he gets that surge online.
Yeah, and probably expecting the early ward on the camp too.
Yeah.
So just not wasting any time, being as efficient as possible, and both supports dealing with Admiral Bulldog as soon as possible. They did not bother warding up his large neutral camp, but they do have that observer ward on the high ground, and Jerax can roll in from the river if he deems it appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the top lane as well, the fact that you do have Jerax and Kuroki up here, you said yourself, 2 supports that can get active around the map and help out
Rolling
the
on
other lanes.
top.
Oh, indeed, Jerax trying to make a bit of a play here. Admiral Bulldog with a nice 3-man crush, and that's going to be enough to allow him to get himself back out and head away. But yeah, at what point do you think we'll start to see Jerax looking to gank towards the mid lane? I mean, how easy is it for them to look for a potential kill on the DK between him and the Death Prophet?
They need to stabilize the top lane first. Admiral
Okay.
Bulldog is level 2, and he's solo. A lot of teams like to run the dual lane with the Slardar, but this time it's just him by himself, and he's already level 2. He doesn't really want to go to the neutral camp because as soon as the supporters don't show, then DK has to play really scared. And as far, it's not a great lane versus the Death Prophet, and it's especially bad because of the threat of the Earth Spirit. But if you nullify the Earth Spirit threat in the top lane by keeping him around, then S4 can do his thing.
As we can see at the moment, S4 just a few CS behind, fighting on the Death Prophet as expected. Room-wise, AK grabbing himself the bounty. Just an illusion here for mind control as he continues to just take up space in the jungle. And this is something that, of course, it's not going to be punished by Alliance. They don't really have the potential to do anything about the Dark Sea at this stage, so mind control is going to get this free opening in the jungle.
As far as item builds going into the mid game, we've seen a lot of Vanguards coming out from the anti-mage, especially on Ramses, but this game I don't think is particularly good just because things like, you know, Spirit Siphon are not very good versus them, and the main concern with the anti-mage pick is that he comes online too late. I think if he gets a Battle Fury, he can be in fighting shape much earlier. I don't think a Vanguard will make him feel that comfortable. A lot of times when they do have the Vanguard, they have alternate sources of damage. Earlier we saw a Dark Seer with Ion Shell on the Vanguard as anti-mage as well as in power. I think you can get away with that, but they don't really have any ways to make him Superman. Maybe like an Amp, I suppose, can buff up his damage a little bit, but I don't think that's enough.
Yeah. I just want to point out, these are some really nice wards here from Alliance as well. You can see they've got vision of this jungle, so they know exactly when Jarek starts to make these movements towards the mid lane. Regardless, he's going for it on S4. He's diving incredibly deep. EGM is going to be here in Alliance. Maybe potential to look for a turnaround. They get off the lift. Brief fire as well in Alliance. Taking down Fada, punishing him there for the aggression. I mean, he really went for it on S4 there, but he just didn't have enough mana for that final bit of burst.
And Rubik was super patient. He waited like a really long time until he could confirm that Death Prophet was going to take a lot of tower shots going in there. And you know, just the big downside of having mind control going to the jungle, and he's also actually going back to the lane right now.
Yeah.
And you know, he kind of needs to do what Admiral Bulldog does, just to make sure the supports, like, they keep track of him at all times.
Yeah, level 4 now in the Seer with the bottle as well. He's going to feel in a much safer place being in the lane. And 4 minutes in, we'll see what he's able to grab down the bottom. Gets himself a Haste Rune as well, so yeah, he can definitely afford to come back into the lane and see what he can do in terms of just creating a bit of issues for this anti-mage. But of course, Loader, he's already had that free lane, the free start. He's doing very well in the CS, 29 for 5, up against the 27 for 8. So both safe lane carries getting a lot. I mean, the question is really, how does this kind of anti-mage versus Spectre thing work out? Is there a certain power kind of spike for one hero against the other that a team's got to utilize to keep themselves ahead?
Anti-mage can farm his Battle Fury a lot faster than Spectre can farm his Radiance, and like Spectres often go for like phase drums before, and as soon as he gets Yasha, I would say he's already pretty strong with treads.
Goes up top, rolling onto Bulldog again, trying to catch this man out. They have the dagger as well. The sprint, Bulldog, he's going to juke out the balls, and he should be fine. They can't quite close the gap once more further time. So Bulldog, he's getting away with quite a bit up on this top lane. He's not finding a huge amount of CS, but he's certainly getting the levels. So we will see him get the Amplify online at a relatively good time, and that of course is going to help out a lot in these fights.
And he's keeping the Wisp from stacking. He's also keeping the Earth Spirit from rotating into the mid. So. And he's not dying, so he's kind of just doing everything that he can in this top part. And back to the earlier question, I think Anti-Mage is just much stronger because he gets 6 slotted much earlier.
Okay.
So maybe like 40, 45 plus Spectre starts to take ahead, but I would say first 45 minutes of the game, Anti-Mage should win one-on-one. Spectre has a global presence and can help his team out a lot more though.
Looking back towards the mid lane as well, I mean, S4 on this DK, as you said, you kind of expect him to have a little bit of a tricky time against the Death Prophet, but he's not doing bad at all. He's 28 for 2 against the 34 for 7, was involved in that kill onto the Death Prophet, so Alliance, all things considered, they've got to be happy with the way that the mid lane is going, and again, top lane, Jarek's trying for a play, but I've got to be honest, you know, Jarek's Earth Spirit, 6 minutes in, no kills for the side, that's got to hurt you if you're running the Earth Spirit. Surely you're looking for action early on. Bottom lane, mind control, could actually be in trouble here. They've got a telekinesis, he does have a surge, and he's got a haste rune as well, so he'll be able to run it off. But yeah, how do they use this Earth Spirit when they've not had maybe as kind of a high octane fast pace that we're used to seeing Liquid have? We are used to seeing Jarek's finding these early involvements in fights.
Even though the laning phase isn't going as well as they still had the superior team fight. Tons of AoE, Ion Shell on Spectre is going to be pretty good. Death Prophet, probably the best team fight hero in this entire game right now. And yeah, it's not the same thing that they're used to, but that's one of the downsides of having Spectre pick, and they're making it work. If you win the early game with Spectre, you're in a very, very good spot. You expect to be slightly behind.
So we'll see what Spectre just finishing off, the urn as well. I mean, as you said, do you expect to see the drums come out, or is it going to be phase urn and now it's starting to look towards the relic gold? I mean, how's the way we can expect Matumba to play this?
It's usually drums.
Yeah.
It just depends. If you're not dying a lot and you're just like crushing the opposing team, you can skip the drums, but most of the time drums is just much safer. Waiting for Spectre to hit 6, and then I think things will start to get out of control for Alliance, as they need like a haunt plus an exorcism. Hopefully Wisp can get some levels after that, and then additionally they'll have the relocate threat afterwards, but not quite there yet. And I think they need to hit before 10 minutes. 10 minutes is when you get the tome, which is when they should hit Supernova or Rubik's Spellsteal, both of which are significant tools in their teamfight arsenal.
This is where Ake just bodyguarding us for at the moment in the mid lane. The event being that the supports are off the map at the moment for Liquid, so Ake just maybe a little bit wary that Jarax might look to roll in onto S4 and wants to make sure he's going to be there to back him up on the Phoenix. And indeed, Jarax and Kuroki are going to make a movement over towards the mid lane. No vision down on this high ground at the moment for Alliance, and with the smoke, Liquid might have a chance of trying for some. He's going to be very, very...
He's not 6 on Spectre. He needs like 1 or 2 more creeps.
Oh, okay. Did try for the bounty rune steal. Now Jarrett's rolling in. They want to try and punish the man post-diving with a haunt through as well. They'll find it. Now looking towards S4 as well, and Liquid may be able to turn this 1 kill into a 2 kill. There'll be TP reactions coming through. Can they finish off S4? No! Turns around, gets the Dragon Tail, the crunch from Bulldog onto Matumba Man, but it doesn't matter. S4 will be safe, but Bulldog will pay with his life. A double kill for Varte here on the Death Prophet. And that is the kind of Liquid that we expect to see, just grouping up, ready to go. Matumba Man getting himself involved with the Haunt. At the least, Bulldog's appearance does save S4, but Alliance losing 2 there in the mid.
I mean, Anti-Mage did opt for the Vanguard build, but still not quite fight ready for him. And that's just what Liquid does a lot with level 6 on Spectre, and immediately, I would say he was level 6 before, maybe 10 seconds before they called him that first Haunt.
This is wild, they're trying to make something happen here. That Dragon Tail stun not going to be long enough to allow EGM to close in for a telekinesis follow-up.
I must say I really liked S4's itemization. He didn't go for Strength. Strength is really bad versus the percentage based on the Spirit Cycle, so he actually opted for the Infused Moondrop, which saved him. He barely had enough life. He had 3 charges left on that. If he had gone for a Strength item, I think he would have died there.
Top lane, Bulldog, he's returned up here. Still trying to find what he can. Needs to be a little bit careful playing with Matumba Man, but with the sprint away, he's going to be fine. I mean, yeah, this is the fact that, yes, this Spectre's been involved in kills, but at the moment, Lotus still having the preferential amount of farm. Top lane, Bulldog, trying to go in on Matumba Man, and hello, Sunray, they might just get this one. Matumba Man falling low, Kuroki. Will the regen be enough? Just enough to keep Matumba Man alive, but now the power of the Phoenix being felt there on the top lane.
So let's see who they give the tome to. Neither of the supports are level 6, and it's almost a 10-minute mark. I want to see who Alliance prioritizes in that. If they want to go more gank heavy, I think Rubik's pretty good for that. If they want to win the team fight and they expect a 5-man rotation with a Haunt, then the Phoenix is better.
Mind Control looking to get the stick charges and the surge off there. Jarax is going to be caught mid-roll, and Jarax no escape now as Alliance close in. Loader, more money in the bank for that one as Alliance let him take the final blow. So a kill for the Anti-Mage. Pretty much perfect CS so far here for the man as well on the safe lane. It is looking good for the AM this game.
Yeah, Spectre is 1,000 less than him, and he almost died in that top lane, so they have to keep the supports around that. So it looks like they did give it to Rubik, and already first spell stolen. Level 4 Crypt Swim. It's pretty good.
See,
it's great for that 5-man action that Liquid likes. Since Haunt is up right now.
Yeah. So this is the time that you got to be careful if you're Alliance, and I'm sure they're going to be keeping track of that ult time of the Haunt.
Yeah, every ult timer, it's a smoke.
Jarax and Mind Control. Looking for wraparound towards mid. They want to make something happen again. They've got the Exorcism as well if they want to commit that.
There's no TPs on Slardar or Anti-Mage, so it's kind of just the 2 supports and S4 in the mid lane.
Absolutely on point as well. Jarax straight in, gets the perfect angle onto EGM, and another kill for the DP. Straight away, Flutter popping the Exorcism. Can they do anything to stop this push, Alliance? Okay, S4 with the fire, holding back Liquid, but Jarax again.
If they don't commit hard enough, the Spectre will come in and they'll get crushed by Spirit Siphon.
Yeah.
So they have to be really careful about this, and Liquid are waiting for them to show up with 1 or 2.
And looks like Liquid should get away with this one. I mean, EGM back up in a second. Maybe they can TP him and try and look to set something up, but now Liquid actually just playing it safe, respecting the fact that Rubik's back on the map.
Relocate online for IO. Just hit it. Spectre, not the best partner though. Can get there by herself. Maybe like with a Death Prophet, I think it'd be pretty good. So now you have to worry about 3 heroes instantly being there when there could have been 0 before.
No.
Anti-Mage not scared though.
No, not at all. Yeah, anti-mage. Loader still continue to have a good game. Well, S4, he has been caught out. And there's the relocate you're talking about, bringing them straight in on top of the Dragon Knight. He's gone down. Bulldog on the backlines is trying to fight up. Ake in a bit of trouble as well. He'll dive himself away. And Bulldog is going to be chased down by the horse. Jack throws in a hole, crush, and Bulldog beat down onto the Earth Spirit. He is not having any of that, the dog. And he'll get himself TP back to the tower. Great little bit of play there for Bulldog, getting himself out of there. Jarrett's kind of handing himself up on a plate in front of the man.
Yeah, and Spectre also came back to save the Earth Spirit rather than try and pursue the Phoenix. So that was really bad for Liquid, and now they're having a lot of plays coming out for their slaughter. So their 4-on-5 is actually working out for them, while Anti-Mage is getting nice and beefy.
Absolutely, I think coming into this this series, a lot of people a little bit kind of questioning the way that Alliance were going to play and how they were going to look against Liquid, but at the moment in these first 13 minutes, it's definitely going to be one of the closest series that we've had so far in these first opening 2 days of groups. Alliance is certainly stepping up to the level of Liquid so far. Let's see what they can do here. Bulldog kind of baiting. The Sunray won't be enough to save him. The question is, can EGM close the gap and turn this around with the smoke? They're trying to get themselves close and personal with Liquid. And Liquid, they're still ready to fight. In fact, they're looking to come back in onto EGM. They'll be silenced in time. The dagger's out. And they want to try and move in onto this one. Liquid being a little bit careful. Don't want to overextend because Alliance, they are all there. And they will back up Liquid, realizing that they can't really get away with anything more. But nonetheless, Liquid getting themselves a freebie, but still space on top of space here for Loader. He is going to have a very good timing on his item pickups. And the question is, I mean, Liquid, what is there a reason why we're not really seeing them do anything about this anti-mage at the moment? Do they not care about him? They just feel that if they can get away with other objectives across the map, they can win the game around the anti-mage?
I think they wanted to control the Slardar a lot more and trying to limit his blink timing, because they know that he had a lot of farm on the top lane and he's able to make a lot of plays because he's already level 8. We haven't seen Darkseer on the flip side, the opposing offlaner Loda.
Oh yeah, this could be the kill that Liquid would love to find, but no. They just don't have the control. The initial silence from Fada not long enough to allow them to kill AM before it wears out. Top lane, Bulldog, he's eyeing up Matsuma. He has got backup coming in, Rubik. And the Phoenix right behind him.
Yeah, there's too many things that they want to do right now. They want to limit the AM, they want to prevent DK from pushing their towers, and they want to control Slaughter's blink timing and protect their Spectre. And as of right now, they can only commit to maybe 2.5 of those objectives. They did get a tower on bottom without Exorcism, or what it looks like maybe a
There's
tower.
going to be TPs in. S4 has an invis, and he may be able to just set something up big onto Jarrex, and D catching him out. Loader joins in as well, an Alliance finding themselves another one. And the denies there as well. Great play from Alliance coming in to back that one on the bottom lane, finding a kill. It certainly is a good chunk so far, and just keeping Loader involved in the action as well. He seems to be finding himself in the right place at the right time, more than often thanks to the positioning of Liquid. He's 1-0-1. The Battle Fury is being closed in upon on top of the Vanguard. I mean, it pretty much, if you're the anti-mage, you're very happy with the way that this game started.
Indeed you are. Liquid are taking towers, but it's not in the manner that they usually take towers. It's usually 3 or 4 people there, and then you haunt in, you crush 3 or 4 heroes with the Exorcism, and then you take a tower immediately afterwards. But Alliance is doing a really good job of dividing Liquid's attention in between protecting the Spectre.
In the river, Liquid, they're looking for a wraparound. This could be nice if they could set it up onto multiple. Jumping forward, the kick is only going to catch Bulldog, but Bulldog's gone. The silence onto S4. They'll close in with the slow, and S4, is it going to be enough for Sunray? No, it's not. They'll lose 2 Alliance, and Ake in the sidelines. He could be potentially in trouble as well. Gets the dive off. Has got a TP in 5 seconds, but that's not going to be soon enough. Liquid close in, take down a third, and this time Alliance being punished for their positioning, and Liquid finding a very nice wraparound with the smoke.
Yep, the team fight is just far superior to Alliances, and Alliance, I think they felt pretty good. It's like, oh, we're doing pretty well. Anti-Mage is farming, but at the end of the day, they still have an AT.
Oh, and if they kill the anti-mage here as well, Liquid looking to gain some control of this game. Loader, can he get himself away from this one? Gonna blink again in a second. Should be enough. Anything to catch him out of this distance? No, EGM's there as well to back him up. So Loader Living as well, I guess this is the power of the Anti-Mage, you know, with a Vanguard and a Perseverance. He's pretty damn tanky, and a couple of points as well into the Spell Shield. It's hard to kill this man.
It really is. They almost had the extra damage output from the Veil first on the Death Prophet, but not quite enough. Soon, I guess they will have a Yule on the Death Prophet and to chain silence, but by that time, Anti-Mage might have his Manta.
Yeah, Loda's certainly going to be picking up the items at
They don't
quite
have
a rate this game.
They don't have a good setup for the relocate, and even so, they don't have the best relocate partners. Nothing instant to catch people out. They do have the haunt if they want to stop the blinks, but it's going to be a lot of commitment just to try and kill a single hero. They don't have to play like there's a big relocate threat like a Sven or Tiny, like you would normally see.
Well, Timberman, he's going to TP up to this top lane. Does need to be a bit careful. I mean, he's got 2.5k gold nearly. So, the relic build-up, about 2/3 of the way there. Alliance, they had 3 heroes top.
With Slardar showing, it's very unlikely that they can jump him. So he sees Slardar farming bottom. They know that he's very close to his Blink Dagger, and Matumba Man feels very safe.
Oh, they know Jarex is hit. Can they actually do anything about it, though? Loda, he's not going to have any control himself, and the rest of Alliance won't be able to close in on Jarex, so he's free to get in and get out. But yeah, I mean, at this point, if you are Liquid, are you just looking to make sure that you get that Radiance timing on the Spectre and then look to try and fight? Because
They can still take 5-on-5s.
Yeah.
Before. We haven't really set the full power of Vacuum Wall yet.
Go for S4 here. S4, he has got a lot of backup. Is it going to be enough? Rolling in, the Sunray from Ake, now S4 with the armlet ready to turn around. He has lost the ultimate form. He's looking to try and take down Kuroki on the backlines. Could he do it? He will. Does go down in return. So a trade that Liquid will be happy with. Taking down S4 on that DK and only losing Kuroki for it.
Wow, that armlet gave him astounding damage output. Io had 16 stick charges. I didn't think he was going to die from that one hit.
Yeah. And it was a lucky time for Liquid to choose to take the fight as well. Say he still had the Dragon form going, S4. I mean, he might have brought down 2 heroes with him there. It was good timing from Liquid. Picking to go in when it was wearing out in the top lane. They'll find a tier 1. Alliance are going to move in with 3 and smoked up as well. We'll see if they are able to catch anything. They've got the blink ready on Bulldog.
They've known that Bulldog's been missing for a very long
Yeah.
time. So, and now it's about that time that you should expect the Blink Dagger, especially with the start that he had.
Oh, they could find an opening here. Bulldog, he's going to look to catch out Jarex. Jumps in. EGM's going to walk in for the follow-up control with the telekinesis, and that should be enough for unless Jarex can play his way out of it. No, not quite. Nearly getting the chance to escape. And Alliance, they'll find the kill on the top lane. Looking to set up onto Loda. Can't really do this on his own. I mean, Spirit Siphon, it's not going to be good enough for that one. Loda walks it away. And S4, space in the mid lane for him to take down the tier 1 by the looks of it. Not a lot that Liquid can do to stop that one. More money into the bank of the DK. And at the moment, 19.5 minutes in, Liquid coming out on top in terms of kills, but still the Loda anti-mage is a huge issue this game, and will continue to be so with the Vanguard and the Battle Fury online now.
So I wonder if Liquid might try and pressure Roche with their next rotation of ultimates. I think that might be better than pushing a T2. I think that Alliance and Loda are strong enough to take a fight if they just straight push into the T2 or even push S3 and haunt in. I think if they take Roche and then secure Spectre's Radiance and 2 lives on him, then they'll have enough damage output to take down Alliance. But it's too risky without.
Yeah. Nothing that Alliance is going to be able to do to stop this, so Liquid will have indeed the tools that you're saying that they need for the next fight. But the question is, I mean, killing Alliance, but it really feels like killing Loda, because we've seen positions where they've been putting 4 heroes to it. They just, I mean, how do they kill the anti-mage? It just feels like he's on borderline unkillable at this stage, you know, considering the fact that Liquid, they don't have those big items. A lot is being invested into getting that Radiance for the Spectre. Maybe with the Radiance then, you know, followed up by the control.
They still have tools to deal with them. Maybe not so much from the Spectre, but let's say like Death Prophet with multiple Spirit Siphons with a Veil on him will be pretty good, especially because since he'll be likely blinking into the middle of the fight, and then the Wall of Replica from Darkseid will also return a lot of damage onto that anti-mage.
Actually, yeah, good point. Yeah, the wall, that could indeed be the thing that's going to allow them to get that losing chomping away at himself.
Liquid are playing very carefully though.
Yeah.
They know that the early game didn't go quite as well as they expected, so trying to overcome that with an item advantage. Matumba Man just a couple hundred away from his Radiance.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Alliance at this point as well, I mean, the fact that the Radiance is getting closer to completion is that kind of going to hurry along Alliance here at all, or are they fine? You know, with the anti-mage, because he's got that start that he has, they know that Loaded can just continue to farm it. The rest of them can just hold the map, just maintain the position they're in, and they'll be fine as the game goes on. Or ultimately, will the Spectre be a stronger threat?
I think they can bide their time. As long as they don't put themselves in a position where they can lose their racks or their T3s, then I think they're okay with it. I think they're comfortable scaling. Slaughter is pretty good, and damage is very difficult for Death Prophet to itemize against. You want to go Shivas, you want to go BKB, you also want to go HP and Octarine, and you can't get all of those versus a Slardar. And then DK is also pretty good, especially when he has an armlet. He can output a lot of damage. They have pretty good BKB heroes, which is very good versus Liquid's lineup. And yeah, Anti-Mage is just farming up a Storm, eclipsing the
look at top.
Spectre.
Bulldog and Loader, they want to try and go for this one. Matuma, he's got the Aegis. Can they pop it down? The Radiant's mischance actually helping out a bit there. One more touch. Oh no! Marta's not going to let it happen. You'll set to come through with the silence. Loader, he could be in trouble, and if they can get this kill, this is the kill that they need. Liquid take down the Anti-Mage. The rest of Alliance on the retreat, but with the Horn, they're ready to chase down for more. Matuma, and now Fada coming in with the help of Kuroki's relocate, and Ake's down as well. A second kill for Liquid. And Alliance making a mistake to hang around there in the top lane. I mean, Matuma, he had the Aegis, he had the Haunt, he had the Radiance. It was never really going to be an easy fight for Alliance, but still, they choose to try and jump in and take it.
Yeah, masterfully played by Matuma and the rest of Liquid. And yeah, Anti-Mage could have just kept on farming, but he saw an opportunity. Even then, it would have just been an Aegis. So this is kind of those things like, okay, you need to prevent them from getting to your T2 and T3s, and that's one mistake. They still have a couple more before they're actually under some serious pressure, but still it does not bode well going into that mid game.
No, I mean, Bulldog, eyes onto mind control. Does he want to try and make something happen? They're going to look for Kuroki first. They'll just move in, take down the Io. And won't be punished for it for the time being. Matuma is coming across. He won't have the control to hold back Bulldog on the Slardar. So Alliance will get away with a pick onto Kuroki.
I think once Alliance get BKBs, they'll have stronger teamfight than Liquid. Yeah. They have so much more lockdown, all these low cooldown stuns from Slipin and Crush, and Dragon's Tail. As the fight goes on, heroes are just continuously going to die to their set of stuns.
The Matuma here, they'll definitely be able to take him down once. The question is, can they do it a second time? Liquid are going to come in across. They're going to look to try and help out the man. S4 signs, but he pops the BKB. Looking to take down Matuma. It's a lovely supernova as well on the back lines coming through. Loader jumps forward, trying to take down Matuma. The Yule Scepter holding back Loader. They'll still get the kill onto Spectre. Fada going down as well. Alliance doing it here in this fight, taking down the two cores of Liquid, not being punished at all.
And we see how weak Liquid are without their ultimates online, and that's just one BKB on the side of Alliance in S4's hands.
And off the back of that as well, Alliance certainly ready to push. I looked for the tier 2 here, and with neither of these heroes, Fata or Matuma available for 30 seconds. And this tower's going to go down. And the Alliance, they may have fluffed up a little bit on the top lane, but they've certainly recovered from that mistake. And they're going to get it.
We talked about Liquid's, the Anti-Mage being like a little bit too slow-paced for Alliance, but it actually seems like Liquid have just been constantly been waiting for something. They had that long stretch in the middle where they were waiting for the Radiance. They're desperately trying to hit that timing where Slaughter didn't have Blink Dagger, and there haven't been that many windows where they felt considerably stronger than Alliance, and you can tell that by the hesitancy in their play.
And Manta complete onto Loader as well, so one of the things that was kind of really causing an issue, it was the silences from both Jerax and Fata in these team fights. Suddenly Loader, he's going to be able to get himself out of those.
No, here they go. Next set of ultimates are up. But no heroes are showing, and Liquid playing some very
They might catch
nice
S4.
boards.
You can see here, Jerax, he's going to find it, relocating in as well, and as you said, S4 just turns, gives Matuma a whack on the head, and S4 just TPs himself out of there. Nice relocate, nice haunt, not going to get anything achieved. S4 swagging it off, and as you said, I mean, this is what Liquid need to fight, and suddenly, well, you've used 2 of the ults, and yeah, and this could be a time that Alliance themselves, they'll look to fight, because we saw before how easy it was for them to take down some of the main material from Liquid. without those ultimates available.
Yeah, at some point I think they can just like blink BKB and just focus down a Death Prophet. And barring a sick relocate coming up from Kuro, I think that Death Prophet or even a high priority target like Darkseer or Spectre is going to go down early on in the fight, and there's not really that much they can do about it.
Mid lane, eyes onto Kuroki. Look at this positioning from Bulldog as well. He is ready to jump in. He's coming around from the backside, and there we have it. Jumps in with the crush. Kuroki gets a bit of help from his team. He'll be able to tether himself across to Fata. Let's see if they continue to chase Ake. Diving in, Sunray as well. Oh, it's a good spell, not quite enough. Kuroki keeping himself alive here, but Alliance, they still want to get something achieved here. Bulldog eyeing this one up. And man, he's now there as well, so this could be the call for Alliance to kind of put a bit of a stopper onto this one. And they won't dive in any further and just drag themselves away from Liquid's attention in the mid lane, and actually looking towards the top here, Alliance. They might be able to try and find and finish off this tier 2, and certainly still, they seem very intent on being ready to take a fight, and from the previous one, there's no reason why not to. Loader's now got 2k on top of the Manta Star, a little bit more as well, as they will finish off this tower.
And you can see why Alliance weren't really scared of the Wisp and Earth Spirit core or supports. The offlane still got a lot, and they also drafted very tanky cores that have some sort of magic resistance or are really good BKB wielders. Slaughter and DK, very good at holding BKBs, and Anti-Mage is just kind of impervious to the Earth Spirit damage. He really has not been able to have that much of an impact at all.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like, you know, Liquid's draft, as you said, overall, because of the way that they've composed the supports. I mean, the only stun they have is the Earth Spirit. So when you're looking at heroes like the Anti-Mage, and I mean the Slardar as well, you know, heroes that you do need to control,
they can't prevent them
hard
from popping their BKBs. That's the biggest issue. Maybe they get a vacuum into like a sick boulder smash.
Maybe. I mean, but it's as you said, you know, the maybe being there because it is one of those situations that if you're Alliance, you just, I mean, you've only got to look out for that one thing, so you're going to be very careful to not allow that to happen.
Even if you get stunned, you're not going to die. You can just pop your BKB afterwards. Late game, we might be talking about like a Scythe on Death Prophet or Abyssal on Spectre, but those are kind of far-fetched, and I think other items have higher priority.
Yeah, Fata, of course, working towards the Octarine, about 1300 away from having that Mystic Staff to finish that one off.
And then every like 5 minutes or so, we see Anti-Mage getting another 1500 or so net worth above the Spectre. Now it's about 5,000, and I expect to see that grow, even with Liquid's mobility.
And to be look at Load as well, it looks like he's going to go for the BKB himself. So Manta BKB, I mean, that is a man that wants to fight at that stage. Or at least he knows that you can't kill him.
All they need is to be able to pop their BKBs and win the fight. So they are going to scale better in the late game unless Death Prophet is mega farmed with like Shivas and Refresher and Hex, and doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. Kind of keeping on par with the Spectre's net worth, but nowhere close to Loda.
I don't know, the Tool Alliance certainly playing this game very smart at the moment in terms of both draft and execution here in the first 30 minutes, and Alliance with the smoke. Let's see what they're able to set up. They will be fighting into the full lineup of Liquid with the ults available. They'll check into Roche, but it's one of the longest respawn timers, so they won't be lucky for the time being. And in fact, Liquid, they're also moving over. So a bit of smoke on smoke action. Liquid will have that high ground advantage, but at the same time, there are wards up for Alliance. So if it dispels, they'll see it. Alliance hiding in the pit, ready to jump in from the side. Jarak's not quite coming close enough for it to dispel. They're not aware that Alliance are there at the moment. Fada, oh, it will on him. They know something's up. Immediately Liquid moving off to the west, as Alliance will hang around, so both teams actually ending up dodging each other. But Liquid, they're aware that Alliance are around in the neighborhood. Alliance just continuing to stay around this area of the map.
And Liquid have far worse vision than Alliance around this pit. They have Alliance has 3 wards around that Roshan pit in that bottom rune.
Yeah, Liquid at the moment still a little bit kind of bemused there by the whereabouts of Alliance. Now Alliance, they'll just reveal themselves. They know that they're not going to be able to find themselves a kill, but they will be able to find themselves an objective. If they pushed in onto the tier 2, this is the final tier 2 for Liquid as well. They're actually going to pop the fortification for this one. So we'll see if Alliance feel confident enough to push in again and try and take advantage of the fact, or if they'll continue to play it safe. And it looks like Alliance, they're intent on waiting for the Roshan. As I said, just a longer respawn. But it will be up in a few seconds now, so just under half a minute. So Alliance, they'll stand their ground, look to take the Aegis, and then potentially a fight on onto a push. But Liquid, they're coming back round towards the pit. They know that the time has got to be soon. They know that they're going to need to contest this one in Jarek, so leading with the kick, not going to connect. And now immediately, the rebuttal from Ed4, jumping in with the Sunset Fighter, Supernova in the middle of the fight as Loda jumps in with a BKB, looking to chop down on the Death Prophet. She reels herself up. Can they finish her off, Fighter? Is he going to kill her? No, he's gone. The Mana Void from Loda blows him up. They have lost to an alliance, though, as Liquid trying to fight back with Timmerman did quite a bit with the Radiance. The buybacks are coming out. Bulldog and Fighter trying to get themselves back into the fight. S4 holding Jarek's back, and now Loda turning up. He's looking to secure this one for the team. He needs a bit of help. He hasn't got the control. Matumbaman's out of mana. Bulldog's there looking for an opening. We'll see where he's able to get the jump. Crushed in. He doesn't even need the jump. Matumbaman walks into him. The wall dropped down from mind control. Bulldog and Loda trying to finish on Matumbaman. Matumbaman's down. Can Loda do it? Can he find mind control as well? They will get it. Alliance still looking for more. Hana's still alive along with Jerax. Loda did buy back for this. He's already managed to do quite a bit. Can he do anything more? Looking to chase down, looking at Fada, but the yield set to holds him back. Jerax maybe eyeing up, trying to turn this one around. But Loda, he wants to go in for more. Jumping in, looking to try and create the space for Regen to close in with the telekinesis, and with the Manta Illusions, they'll go for it. Fada out of mana. He's got the Siphon, silenced up as well. He's fairly tanky. But Loda's trying to finish this one off. Won't be able to get it. The Kuroki finally turns up with the save. But Loda there with the aggression, that fight, buying back, getting himself back in, and pretty much making sure that that fight was not a total wash for Alliance.
Yeah, it was only a buyback from
Oh, sorry, but
Rubik, Slardar, and Fada.
Okay.
So, I think that the Death Prophet needs a BKB though.
Yeah.
She just got focused down immediately at the start. She needs BKB to counter Alliance's BKBs. She did a really good job of staying alive though, using the self-fuels and a lot of Spirit Siphons to heal herself up, but that was a very big mana void from Anti-Mage to finish off Death Prophet. Still, the Roshan is alive. With amp damage up on Alliance and no exorcism down on Liquid, I do not think that Liquid are interested in taking this fight. Nice wall steal by Rubik as well.
Now we'll see if who's going to kick off again here, Alliance.
They don't have much time. 20 seconds until exorcism's up, 10 seconds until the wall is
I
up.
mean, yeah, Liquid are going to be ready to go for this one unless Alliance can take it incredibly quickly. Let's see what they can do here, Liquid. I'm not going to want to let Alliance get away with this one for free.
If they can focus Death Prophet down here, they'll be in a really good spot. They also need to control the Wisp so that Wisp can't relocate Fada out of this fight. And both teams have really good tools to fight around the pit. Vacuum Wall, Exorcism's also really good in the pit. Phoenix, Supernova, and let's see who gets the jump.
So it's smoked up from Liquid, trying to make sure that they can get the perfect angle to jump in and catch Alliance off guard. Already down to nearly half health, the Roshan Loader, remaining in the pit. Liquid, every ult up and available now. Alliance need to be careful, and they will be. They don't want to stick around in the pit for the time being. They will back off. They know how aggressive a Liquid are preparing to be. They're still a little bit timid. They are holding back Liquid. They know that it's a hard fight for them to take. I mean, both teams definitely have ways of coming out on top of this. We'll see who's ready to commit first and what. They're back into the pit, Alliance, and they are finishing off Roshan. Liquid need to make a play rather quickly. As Alliance, ooh, no, yeah, they'll get it. Radiant's going to kill the Roshan. Aegis still on the ground. Matumbaman standing there, he's taken the Aegis. Loader pops the BKB. Trying to put us back, but no kills at the moment. They'll lie on to Matumbaman, but he's got the Aegis, so it doesn't matter. They need to kill someone else. They'll look for Fada jumping forward for Kuroki, keeping the DP alive. The walls drop down, and Loader, he's gone, as well as S4. Liquid taking two. They'll get a third, as well as Ake falls. And off the back of that, I mean, they may have killed the Roshan, but Matumbaman snatching the Aegis, Liquid finding 3 kills. It may not end even then, as EGM gets taken down as well. And just like that, Liquid, oh my goodness, it's going to be a full team wipe for Liquid. Oh, we knew the Roshan attempt was going to be a rocky one, but my goodness, Alliance just got trashed there.
So much for Earthsphere not having that much of an impact. That boulder just bought so much time for Matumbaman to walk in there and snatch the Aegis, and I think Kuro did an especially good job of keeping Fada alive. As long as Fada stays, they tried to like half commit onto her, but without the BKB on the Slaughter, they really couldn't go all in
Yeah.
onto Fada, and if you don't go all in on Fada, he's going to heal everything up for the Spirit Siphon, and everyone's forced to run away after the BKBs, and that was a gamble that did not pay off.
Oh man, and it's cost them heavily. Tier 3 down in the mid lane. Liquid, they'll be able to get themselves the melee racks as well. I mean, mistakes like that, you just cannot afford to make them against the side of Liquid. They'll take everything.
Could have popped his BKB. Oh, Fada.
Oh, hello. I mean, well, maybe now the side of Liquid the one to make mistakes as Fada. Yeah, he's nearly gone, and he is. Man of Void will finish it off. Let's see if they can chase down for more Alliance. They lost their melee racks. They are not happy. They want to punish Liquid as much as they can. Bulldog moving forward. There's the amplify onto Jerax. Loader, he's ready to continue the chase. Can they actually get the lockdown onto any of these heroes? Jerax just jumping around with the Blink Dagger, playing away with them. A nice kickback. It's not going to catch Bulldog. Will give him the chance to jump in, get off the boulder smash. They should be able to find the Spirit and the bash from Bulldog. They will get themselves a second. So Alliance will manage to punish Liquid off the back of that push.
What a sick play from Jerax. He like kicked the Spectre as he was rolling out to make sure that they couldn't take down Matumba Man twice, and buying a lot of time for Death Prophet with that extra long revive timer post buyback.
Diffusal Blade now done from Matumba Man. Abyssal Blade ready for the next fight on Loader. So
they still need BKB on Bulldog. Bulldog's actually been very underfarmed this game, given the start that he had, and no Iron Talon, I would say, is part of it. You just generally have to get all your creeps from the lane, but just dying a lot too. 6 death to his name. As opposed to, let's say, Mind Control, who has Shiva's Meg, Blink, Force.
yeah, Mind Control certainly farming up a treat this game. We'll see the Shiva's guard come into play for the first time in the next fight. And just 2 minutes left. What the edges would have been, and BKB on Fada as well, so the Death Prophet going to be even harder for the side to take down.
I think Alliance need to split push a lot harder. They still don't really have the tools to kill an anti-mage. He has BKB on top of Manta Style. Even without the BKB, I still think he'd be very hard to kill. Maybe if Spectre wanted to chase very far, they could kill the anti-mage. But as of right now, I don't think they should be. But they haven't been having to react to Loda's split push. He hasn't really been knocking on the T3s. Most of them are still very alive and healthy and opting to fight a little bit more, as opposed to farm and not fight into Liquid's ridiculous 5-on-5. Even with their BKBs, that's probably what made them feel so confident and like, okay, well, we have BKBs, we should be fighting as opposed to pushing, but their lineup is just not that well suited towards it, even though they scale a lot better. So I think they should be focusing way more on scaling and dragging this on a little bit later, and forcing Liquid to defend. I think they're not that good at defending. They're very good at being mobile on offense because of relocating a haunt, but in terms of actual defense, it's not that great without any stuns to lock down the anti-mage to make sure he can't blink and TP away.
On the top lane, the Timber Man feeling confident to come in and start to hit away at the racks. Bulldog will jump in with a crush, but it's only the Slardar at the moment on this defense, and the Timber Man, he knows it, he doesn't care. In fact, he'll just kill Bulldog. Bulldog's taken down there immediately by the Mantra and Diffusal from the Timber Man. Loda's going to come in and start to try and clear up on the Timber Man. He is not scared at all, and he can't get away with this, surely not. S4 now jumping in with the stun. They need to stop this Spectre. With the Abyssal Blade as well, they'll have a chance potentially killing him once. No, just kidding. Kuroki's there. Brings him out to the sidelines with Timberman. Oh, beat down by the Man Boy from Loader. Now Loader from the BKB. Looks at Jerax. Jerax taken down. Can they get anything more off the back of this defense alliance? They need to go. Timberman, he really wants to finish off that melee Rex, and here we go. Oh, he's just going to let the creeps do it. And I mean, Alliance losing a melee Rex in a little bit of an unspectacular fashion. That seemed like it shouldn't have been let to happen, Malini.
Well, that's, you know, he kind of looked like a support when he just got manted and beaten down by the Spectre. And you kind of had to expect that play, maybe not checking his inventory for the Diffusal and getting caught off guard, hoping that the sprint would bring him to safety. But BKB is a dream for him now.
A little bit of a
shattered dreams.
A little bit of a mess there. 2 melee racks now down on the side of Alliance. Not a situation that they would have hoped to be in. I mean, they do have ways of cleaning it back out with S4 and the ultimate form, and of course Loader and his Battle Fury. Certainly not a position they would have chosen to be in themselves. You need to try and find something from the base of Liquid, get a push on. It's going to get harder and harder. You know, with that extra gold, Hearts finished on the Timberman. So Spectre himself I mean, he is becoming an absolute beast. As we saw there, he can pick off Bulldog. We know it's going to be the same for the supports just as easily with the Manta Illusions and the Diffusal. It is scary against this Spectre. They do need to try and kill this man, but as we saw with the saves of Kuroki, it's an incredibly hard task ahead.
Alliance are having really difficult time pushing out the lanes. None of them can deal with a Spectre in one of their side lanes aside from Anti-Mage, but he can't be everywhere and he does not have BOTs.
Oh, look at this. Maybe the loader bait. This is a classic here. Well, I say it's the loader bait. In fact, the rest of Alliance, they were heading north. They need to head down and help this man. Loader pots the BKB straight away. Alliance, if they can get themselves around onto this fight, they could find something off the back of it. Loader's going to jump in onto Fada. Matuma Man with the horn. Thinks it finds the backliners, but in fact, the backline is liquid dropping. Kuroki's going to lose his life. Fada gets the Exorcism. No, he's not using the Exorcism massive yet. Just the Siphon to try and burst down onto Loader, but they've already lost one. They're going to lose a second liquid. EGM will form return a 2-for-2. Mana Void comes out from Loader. They'll find themselves a third. It's a 3-for-3 trade, an incredibly even fight at the moment. Akik trying to TP away, but the Yule Scepter's there to cancel it as Liquid find themselves a fourth, a triple kill for Matuma Man in particular. And Alliance, they cannot afford to lose fights like this. I mean, yes, they keep Loader alive, but Matuma Man gets so much on his Spectre from that.
Yeah, so much of team fight.
Loader?
Liquid.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for a bit of solo kill action. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, blinks away now.
He needs a couple of lucky batches there.
Yeah.
No Slaughter or BKB is killing them though. Like, he is kind of like -1 hero in the fight. He just dies to all the AoE without really being able to do anything. Maybe amp on one hero, but they really need like the stun lock rotation. Okay, Blink, Slithering, Crush, Dragon Tail, kill them before they can pop any of the defensive cooldowns or hopefully get relocated out, but it's kind of just S4 and Loda doing the heavy lifting in the team fight.
And talking about Loader as well, he's certainly saving up the gold on this Anti-Mage 5.3k. Or what does he go for next? Does he need a heart? Does he need a butterfly? Or what are we looking for?
I would say Butterfly or MKB. They need more damage. They aren't able to kill people during their BKB. So Butterfly if he wants to kill Death Prophet or pretty much anyone aside from the Spectre. And MKB is probably better versus Spectre. He only has Radiance though, no Butterfly quite yet. But he needs damage for sure.
And looks like indeed will be the Butterfly. Vlad's picked up.
Vlad's would have made that last Roche way easier and much less risky. Anti-Mage was fighting, I think, got like 70%, and they didn't really want to go in because they didn't want to start off the fight at 70% HP. Oh, Vlad's finally picked up though. That's a good one. AC on Dragon Knight, having most of their teamfight auras, but IO picked up a drums and a Vlad's very, very early on to help out their cores because it's not a typical Wisp partner that he has. So just itemizing to help out both of his cores as opposed to a single one.
As we can see as well, Talisman was picked up by Matuma Man, ready for the Butterfly. But getting that first, of course, acknowledging the fact that Loader himself picked up the Eagle Song, going for the Butterfly. The MKB is not going to be there soon. So this, this evasion that Matuma Man's going to have in these fights he is going to be so hard to take down.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
And especially if they're able to play it to a point as well where Liquid can maybe get the next row. Still a little bit of time as they'll hang on. Alliance just cleaning out the waves. As we can see on the top lane, S4 going pretty heavy in on this split push. Just trying to clear the lanes out as far as he can. EGM's now got a Blink Dagger, so extra catch potential. Maybe even just to stop Kuroki from being able to grab someone and take them out of a fight if necessary.
They need more of this though. They need more of the split push coming out from S4 and other heroes. If he's in danger, Blink TP. If he's in real deep danger, BKB TP. But they need to be able to push out the lane so they can contest the next Roche. If they get an Aegis on Spectre and a Cheese on Death Prophet, it's game over once it comes to a team fight, and Alliance aren't really in a good position. Both mid and bottom are pushing into their T3s. He really wants to finish up his Butterfly and have buyback. I don't think Anti-Mage is going to have enough time for that. Roshan's going to respawn in 30 seconds maximum, and it will be around 5 seconds time. It just popped up.
And Liquid, they are looking ready to make something happen here on this bottom lane. Or at least just keep it pressured in so they have got control of this portion of the map around the Roshan.
Just saw ping come out from Loda on Roshan. They know they need fixed right there.
Yeah, Liquid, they're ready to go. Matuma Man haunting in and eyes onto Bulldog, the man without a BKB, and he's gone for a full minute. Now the question is, can Liquid find anything more? Matuma Man jumping into the Horn Illusion, seeing if he can follow this one through. Fada's got the Exorcism up, so at least they'll be ready to push, and Matuma Man cleaning up EGM as well. Alliance now with two heroes on the sidelines, and Liquid starting to reveal their colors here as they come to this portion of the game where they're just playing pretty much immaculate Dota and Alliance. Don't seem to have answers for it at the moment. This could be potentially the third melee racks going down. What can Alliance do to stop this? You can see Loda trying to poke his nose in S1. Well, he will. He'll jump straight in onto Matuma Man. Can they kill this Spectre here? He's got a heart, he's got a fair bit of evasion, and they just cannot do it. Mana Void's out. It's not nearly enough, and with Kuroki backing up the Spec, Liquid are able to finish off the full set of racks on the bottom lane. And at this point, Alliance, they just arrange racks away from being mega creeps. S4 will try and jump in. Loda's there as well. Can they kill Faster? The vacuum, the wall's down. S4's gone. Loda looking towards mind control. Can he even kill the Darkseer? No, he can't. And Loda gets punished as well. There'll be a buyback this time for the Anti-Mage. But at this point, Liquid just rolling over Alliance unless Loda can do something miraculous here. Drops the Abyssal. He's going to look towards Jarex. Can he finish off the Earth Spirit? No, he can't. They're just toying with him, playing with him. EGM will finally manage to close through, but he himself gets beat down upon by Liquid. And now just Loda left alive. He's got a lot of heavy lifting to do, and I don't think he can do it against this Spectre. Matuma Man does not care at all about this Anti-Mage. In fact, he's just going to straight up ignore Loda and just hit away at the racks. Loda pops the BKB. It's late, but Matuma Man doesn't care. Farden doesn't care as well. It's like they're trying to beat down a fly. It's like, get off me. Stop it. Stop it, please. Go away. Thank you. Goodbye, Loda. And with that, 2 minutes on the clock for Loda. It's GG.
That was disheartening.
Yeah.
I think Alliance,
Liquid.
they brought a pretty good fight against Liquid. I think this game would have been a lot different had they drafted a lineup that they wanted to actually fight with. But
yeah,
they just like a Slardar with a super late blink and anti-mage who's forced to fight before 25. It just didn't really hit on all cylinders for them. But it was pretty decent. Better
I mean, it was a hopeful looking start for Alliance. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was certainly not maybe coming into this one. People felt that Liquid was straight up outclass Alliance, but Alliance